Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are and what time of day it is when you watch this video. My name is Z, and welcome back to my gaming corner. And before you start complaining in the comments like, oh Z, you're giving us whiplash, first you're doing WoW, and then you're doing Final Fantasy VII videos, now you're back to doing WoW again, just know this is kind of like a little intermission. We're about halfway through Final Fantasy VII Remake. Don't worry, there's more videos coming, no worries. But I logged in today to take care of some business, and I'm like, you know what, let's just finish the Lore Master stuff. And then I realized that, oh, well, we got the Wandering Ancient mount for 905, and then I joined my Covenant and got another mount, so that's 2, and I was sitting at 397, so 2 more mounts means I'm at 399. And today we are getting our 400th mount achievement. That achievement is called, right over here on the achievement pane, a Horde of Hoofbeats. 399 out of 400 by obtaining 400 mounts usable by a single character. And most people consider the collections, like whether you're collecting transmog or battle pets or mounts or whatever, they consider that to be the 4th endgame, because there's mythic dungeons, there's raids, there's PvP, and then there are the collections. And I've been collecting things for as long as I can remember in Azeroth. And I got some help today from a couple of pugs, and we got our Swift Gloomhoof. So there's my 400th mount right there. Okay? So what do you get when you start collecting things, whether they be transmog or achievement points or battle pets or whatever? Well, in the issue with the mounts, so if you press Shift P or come down here to your collections, okay, and you look at the mounts, it says I have 448 mounts. Okay, well it's only 399 because I have some Alliance only mounts, and if we scroll down, actually in my filter I also have to say unusable. Like we'll say unusable. And you'll see that I have Alliance mounts. They require Alliance characters. So I can't use these on my Horde Paladin because these mounts here are Alliance only. And that's an underwater mount, but like these Night Sabers are for the Night Elves. So while my mount total says 448, I really only have 399 usable by a single character. Okay, so let's press Y and open up our achievement pane, and we're going to come down here to collections, and we're going to come here to mounts. And a little over a year ago, I was in this video and we got this achievement, No Stable Big Enough. Came 350 mounts and we got the Frost Shard Infernal. But as you collect mounts, the more mounts you collect, you're actually awarded with even more mounts. So your first achievement is the Stable Keeper by getting 10 mounts. That's easy. You can get 10 mounts from the Pandaren Turtle Vendor. And then you get another achievement at 25 mounts, which is filling up the barn. But the very first mount you get from collecting mounts is leading the cavalry. And that awards you the Albino Drake. Okay, so you go through your mount collecting and you get up to 50, and then all of a sudden you get leading the cavalry and you get the Albino Drake. And it is an absolutely gorgeous mount. It has yellowy orangey wings, it has orange on its tail, it has blue and orange on the spikes on his head. And if we just type /mount special, I can spell today. Oh, /mount special. He does that. So yeah, when you get 50 mounts and you get leading the cavalry, you get the Albino Drake. Okay, so then you get into the mindset of, oh, collecting mounts is fun, right? I like collecting mounts. So you collect more and more and more mounts. You go into the raids and you get some raid mounts. And then all of a sudden you've progressed from 50 mounts and you've gone all the way up to Mountain of Mounts. And the Mountain of Mounts gives you a really, really, really cool mount. It gives you the red Dragon Hawk for getting the achievement Mountain of Mounts. Now here's the rub with the red Dragon Hawk. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It's more orange than red. It has red, like extreme red, on the tips of his wings. But you get the red Dragon Hawk for Mountain of Mounts. And depending on if you're Horde or Alliance, will determine what mount you get. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, I've mystically morphed into one of my Alliance characters. But look, this Dragon Hawk isn't red, it's actually blue with a little bit of white on the wings. It's actually kind of purpley too. So if you are an Alliance player and you get your Mountain of Mounts achievement, you get the blue Dragon Hawk. So let's look at our mounts. See, the blue Dragon Hawk is really purple with green on the wings, but because it's nighttime, the colors kind of look different at night. But they get this Dragon Hawk, and this is for achievement Mountain of Mounts, but this is for the Alliance. Okay, so it's purple with blue and green on the wings, but when you're at nighttime, it looks like this. It's still a really cool mount, but that's for the Alliance. The Horde gets the red Dragon Hawk, the Alliance gets the blue Dragon Hawk. Okay? So, you just got the Mountain of Mounts, like, oh, this is cool, but there's so many more mounts to get, because there's like 570 mounts in the game, and then Shadowlands added another 80 or so for us to get, so there's over 600 mounts in this game. And so you keep collecting mounts, you keep going, and you just go and go and go and go and go, and you then progress up to we're going to need more saddles, and you get 150 mounts. And when you get 150 mounts, you get a mount that has a really, really cool mount special. The Dragon Hawks don't really do anything. They flinch when you try and do mount special. But when you get 150 mounts, when we're going to need more saddles, you get this beautiful mount. This is the Jade Pandaren Kite. And it's the same for Horde and Alliance. And the nice thing about the kites is they have a really cool mount special. So if we type mount special, they go back and they go forth, and then they twirl around and they just sway on the wind, just like that. Really cool mount special for the Jade Pandaren Kites. Okay, so yay, I have 150 mounts. This is so cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So you keep going and going and going, and then all of a sudden, you've progressed far enough and you're getting 200 mounts at Mount Parade. Oh my, 200 mounts at Mount Parade. Well, guess what? You get another Dragon Hawk. And this time, at 200 mounts of Mount Parade, the Alliance gets the armored blue Dragon Hawk, and the Horde gets the armored red, but they're not really blue, and they're not really red. So here it is. You can see there is blue armor on this Dragon Hawk, but the Dragon Hawk is more bronze and gray. But it has blue armor, and it has beautiful blue spears and blades attached to his armor. So this is the armored blue Dragon Hawk, okay? And remember how I said Dragon Hawks don't really have a mount special, they just flinch? Did you see it? Did you see it? / mount special, they just flinch. They don't really do anything. So the armored blue Dragon Hawk is really a bronze Dragon Hawk. And if you look at it on the collections, you can see that it's not a blue Dragon Hawk at all. It's like a bronze and gray. It has blue armor. Okay, cool. But it's actually a bronze Dragon Hawk. And if we go back to the Horde side, they get a Dragon Hawk too. But theirs isn't blue, theirs is red. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so here I am again on my Horde Paladin, my main Paladin. And this is the armored red Dragonhawk. And you can see it's not a red Dragonhawk at all. It's like a black Dragonhawk. But it does have red armor on. And it has glowy red eyes. But just like the Alliance one, it's not a red or a blue Dragonhawk. If we look at it in the mount page, you can see it's like a deep dark black with a little bit of green in it. It's a dark Dragonhawk with red armor and then these big spikes sticking up off of its back out of the armor. And it has little chains hanging down on the side of his head. Really cool, really cool. So when you get mountain amounts at 200, if you're a Horde player, you get the armored red Dragonhawk, and if you're an Alliance player, you get the armored blue. But if you main a Horde and get all these mounts and go to the Alliance side, you'll have the appropriate mount for that faction. Okay, so we just got 200 mounts. Like, oh, Z, is there any more? Do we have to keep going? Yes, we do. So we get our 200 mounts, and we get mountain mounts. We're feeling really good about ourselves, and all of a sudden we see that there is a 250 mount achievement called Mountacular. Okay. So we keep collecting mounts. We go get the rated battleground mounts. We go and get some rare raid boss drop mounts. We go get some island expedition mounts. Whatever you want to do to get mounts. And the mount you get for getting Mountacular at 250 mounts is the third Firehawk. And the one thing I don't like about the Firehawks, I mean, they're beautiful mounts, but only the pureblood Firehawk is correct. Look at this. It's a green, beautiful green bird, but look, it has orange sparks coming off of him. Guess what? The corrupted Firehawk has orange sparks coming off of him, even though he's purple. The pureblood Firehawk, which is orange and fiery, is correct because the sparks are the same color. This should have fell green sparks coming off of it. And the Firehawks, as we know, are just reskins, or they're built on the same frame as the Proto-Drakes. They run like a Proto-Drake. They have mount specials, just like the Proto-Drakes. They caw. But you see, as they run around, their wings come up, they hop up and down, they run forward, they fly, okay? And they fly just like the Proto-Drakes. Sometimes they glide, sometimes they flap their wings, but yeah, they're basically on a Proto-Drake skin. But this is what you get when you get 250 mounts. Let me turn my UI off. That is the Mountacular achievement, the Fell Firehawk, which is the third of the Firehawks. There's red, there's purple, and there's green. Okay, so you keep collecting mounts because you got your 250 achievement. Oh, there can't be any more than that. Yes, there can be. And there's a 300 mount achievement called Lord of the Rains. And when you get Lord of the Rains, you get a Cloud Serpent. Okay, so I have a few Cloud Serpents, and the one we're looking at is the Heavenly Cloud Serpent, the Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent for Lord of the Rains. Now, it looks terrible in the mount screen like that, but when you're in game, it actually looks really good. There it is. There is Lord of the Rains. And when I got this achievement, I did make a video on it, but that was shortly before my channel got shut down when Google changed their monetization policies for YouTube. And that video, unfortunately, is completely lost. So you don't get to see me get that achievement. But there it is. There is the Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent. You get that for collecting 300 mounts. And we'll just do a mount special on a Cloud Serpent. I remember when they used to breathe fire, but now they just do this. It looks like they're going to breathe fire, but they don't actually breathe fire. They used to. That was a long time ago. That was during Mists of Pandaria. So there it is. There's the beauty, the Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent. It's an absolute beauty. I love that mount. Okay. Oh, Z. Oh, I'm getting worn out of collecting things. Oh no, but you got to keep collecting. You got to keep collecting. So you keep going, and this mount right here, the No Stable Big Enough, tame 350 mounts, this video is on my channel right now. You can go into the Azerothian Adventures playlist, and you can find the No Stable Big Enough. And when you get No Stable Big Enough, at 350 mounts usable by a single character, you get the Frost Shard Infernal for No Stable Big Enough. And every mount prior to 350 flew. Like the 50 mount, the Albino Drake flies, the Dragonhawks fly, the Pandaren Kite flies, the Cloud Serpent flies. But this one right here, this Frost Shard Infernal, he doesn't fly. So like you try and fly, you just jump. You're just jumping around, you're not actually flying. Okay? But he has a really cool mount special. Okay, so let's turn the UI off so we can actually see all of this. As a little tip, if you're on a mount that doesn't fly, or you're in a zone where flying is not allowed, like in the Maw, or in any Burning Crusade zone on Azeroth, namely Eversong Woods, the Ghostlands, Azure Mist Isle, Blood Mist Isle, or the Isle of Quel'Danas, and you cannot fly there, then pressing spacebar while you're stationary will do the same thing as typing /mount special. So we're standing stationary, I'm just going to press the spacebar, and look what the Frost Shard Infernal does. He takes his head in his hand, he tosses it around, picks it up, and puts it back on. Let's see that again from the side. See, look, he takes his head in his hand, tosses it around, puts it back on his... Okay, interesting, right? That's the Frost Shard Infernal for both Horde and Alliance when you get 350 mounts. Okay, doesn't fly. And that brings us to the main event. So up here in No Stable Big Enough, there's nothing after that, but if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that there's a new achievement called a Horde of Hoofbeats at 400 mounts usable by a single character, and you'll see that I'm at 399 of 400 with my 400th mount sitting right there in my bags. So, you see it here live right now. Kerbam! I get a Horde of Hoofbeasts, the Swift Gloomhoof, and the Frenzied Felltalon. So there it is, the Horde of Hoofbeats for getting 400 mounts, the Frenzied Felltalon, and the Swift Gloomhoof. So just as it was in No Stable Big Enough, I'm going to show you this mount I just got. So this is my 400th mount. This is the Swift Gloomhoof. In order to get this mount, you have to go to Tierna Scythe. Let's open up the big map. And you got to go to the Outlands, not the Outlands, but the Shadowlands. You got to come down here to Ardenweald, and you've got to come here to Tierna Scythe. And you come over to this point in Tierna Scythe. You're way over here, and you jump across to a branch, and you go up the branch, and you find a broken soul web. And then you have to do the side quests and come up here to Glitterfall Basin, and you'll find Elder Gwenna right here at Glitterfall Basin. You fly into Glitterfall Basin, you walk over to the east a little bit from the flight point, and you'll see Elder Gwenna standing right by the road right there. And she'll give you the mended soul web. You then come down here to the heart of the forest, and this is where it gets interesting. If you are a Night Fae player, you talk to Ysera and say, hey, I have this soul web, can you give it more power? And she'll give you the Dreamcatcher. But if you're not a Night Fae, you talk to the guard right outside the heart of the forest and say, hey, can you bring Ysera out to talk to me? And then you can do the same thing. And then once you have your Dreamcatcher, you come over here to the Hibernal Hollow, and there's a little swirl right here. Like the main flight point for Hibernal Hollow is right there. You come up the path a little bit and turn to the left, and there's a little swirly area, and Nightmare just runs back and forth, up and down next to this little mountain range right here. You have to interrupt Cosmic Shower, and you have to run away for Full Eclipse, and you just got to go back and forth, constantly interrupting, constantly running away when he does Full Eclipse. But then when you kill him, you get this beautiful Swift Gloomhoof. It looks very much similar to the Lucid Nightmare, but it's a different coloration, but it is a unicorn. Now, when you do a mount special on these, ECIL, if I can even type correctly, just like the Lucid Nightmare, he does that. But now in Shadowlands, the unicorns fly. So you can fly to your heart's content all you want with your unicorns. They do now fly, which is cool. But we also got, for our 400 achievement, we also got the Frenzied Felltalon, so FRENZ. And this is the third Ravenlord mount. We used to only have two, right? We used to have the Ravenlord, which was blue, and then we had the Flame Talon of Alistrazor, which is orange, and now I have the Frenzied Felltalon. Mount special looks just like that. He gets up on his hind legs and he caws. Doesn't fly, he just jumps. He doesn't fly. He is a Ravenlord. So this is the mount you get when you get a Horde of Hoofbeats. Obtain 400 mounts with a single character. You get the Frenzied Felltalon, which is the green Ravenlord. He's absolutely gorgeous. But look, he even has orange sparks coming off of him. So I guess the Flame Talon of Alistrazor is the only one that's correct. Orange bird with orange sparks. But there it is. So if we look at our achievement pane now, the only achievement that's left in the collections under mounts is available in 8 colors to collect all the paint colors for the X95 Mechano Cat, which is the one I used to get 350 mounts, and there's still 4 colors I don't have. So once you get a Horde of Hoofbeats and you get your Frenzied Felltalon for 10 points, then currently, as of March 21st, 2021, there is not an additional 450 mount achievement. Now, Blizzard may add one in at some future date. I don't know. I don't work for Blizzard. But as it is right now, your collection is complete for mount awards when you get your Frenzied Felltalon for getting a Horde of Hoofbeats. Get 400 mounts usable by a single character. Just turn my UI off. We'll zoom in a little bit. And again, when you do the mount special, the Frenzied Felltalon just rises up and caws a little bit. So, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to smash that like button, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you always know when new content comes out. Also, please tell your friends about me so they can come and they can enjoy these adventures and enjoy these videos just as much as you do. Finally, and most importantly of all, please remember this. World of Warcraft is just a game. And games are meant to be fun, and you're supposed to have fun while playing them. So if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Meet me back here next time. The interlude, the intermission is complete. Meet me back here next time when we're going to go back to the world of Midgar in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And in that series, we are beginning Chapter 13, A Broken World. So, fear not, I haven't forgotten about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I just wanted to show you this really cool thing that I just got in World of Warcraft because I was inching up there and working as hard as I could, and all of a sudden, I have 399 mounts. Oh, look, another mount. Let's make a video. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And please join me next time as we go back to Final Fantasy VII Remake for A Broken World. But until then, I'm Z, signing off.